Hey guys, welcome back to our Journey Through Compulsory series. I'm Mari Inoue and we've got Ali Davida here. We're going to run you through a fitness and yoga workout inspired by equestrian vaulting fundamentals, so the compulsory exercises, and this week we're going to be focusing on the flank. So come and warm up with me. Start the warm up with me. Feet hip width distance apart. We're just going to reach up and down with those arms, squatting through. Breathing in and out. So this week is the flank exercise, as I mentioned, and we're going to be focusing on some handstand work, a little bit of handstand work, pike positions. We want to focus on our shoulder mobility and strength, as always, and those core muscles, all right? So this is also a full body activation workout. We have a good one for you today. Super excited to get into it. All right, we're going to come into our inchworms. So hinging at the hips, coming out into that full plank. And then we're just gonna rotate your arms nice and straight in a circle, okay? So reaching up with those arms on each side. Make sure we try and not twist that body right and left as we move our arms. Rotate our arms through those shoulder mobility circles here, okay? Try to keep your core nice and tight, your stomach facing the ground. Try not to let your chest turn as you rotate those arms. Good. Last one here. Nice job. Good. Coming on up. Okay. Now we've got our bear to plank lunge, okay? So basically you're going to be coming into a pear position here, okay? And then we're going to come out into that lunge position here, okay? So coming into that bear in between each movement, and then come drop out into that low lunge. All right? So bear to lunge. Low lunge here. Good. Try to hover those knees over the ground the whole entire time. Roughly an inch or two. Good. For reference. Nice. Okay, give me two more. One, and last one. Nice. Good job. Now that our joints are all warmed up, we're gonna be getting our muscles activated, all right? So we're gonna start off with those pike jumps, okay? So we're gonna get down, we're gonna start down onto the mat. Okay, so I'm gonna show you modifications as we go, as always, all right? You're gonna start onto that plank position, and you're just going to jump your feet as close as you can to your hands, right? So we're gonna be essentially coming up into a pike position. Okay, so we're just gonna be going back and forth between those movements, all right? Move with me, let's go. So bringing it in and out, in and out, okay? If you feel like this is still too easy, you can always bring those feet up off of the mat, okay? So that we're really transitioning the weight onto our hands, okay? Getting that butt all the way up over those shoulders, okay? Modification. You can just step in, step out, okay? Always with our jumping plyometric exercises, you can always step it out, right? Step it out here, just like that, okay? Good. Give me 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Whew, okay. Now we're gonna transition into our V-ups, okay? So laying down on our backs, extending our arms out, our legs nice and straight, okay? At the same time, simultaneously, we're gonna come fold in to the middle, lifting up our legs and our arms at the same time, all right? Modification, just one leg at a time, alternating sides, all right? Or you can squeeze it in the middle, bending your arms and knees. All right, guys, move with me, let's go. Down and up. I like to hover my legs and my arms on the ground so I'm not completely letting go and dropping loose at the bottom. I always have tension in my body so that I'm ready to go to do my next repetition, right? So we're in a hollow position at the bottom, okay? And then we're coming back up. Good. Give me 3 more. 2, and last one. Whew. All right, we've got 1 more set of those, okay? So now I introduced you to the movements. Now your body should be nice and warmed up. All right, back to those pike jumps, okay? Hands underneath those shoulders. Taking a couple deep breaths, and let's hit it. Okay, jumping in and out. Try to get that bottom up to the sky, and your feet as close as you can to your palms. Again, if this is too easy, lift those legs up to the top, okay, to a nice pike position. Getting that bottom over your shoulders, and then you can always step it out, okay? Modify back. Good. Breathing through. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. All right. Whew. Okay. Now we're gonna come down onto our backs for those V-ups. All right. Catch your breath. All right, extend your arms, your legs out, and let's hit it. So V up and down, up and down. Nice tension at the bottom, guys. So we're not loosening up, right? And always modify back, okay? Opposite arm, opposite leg. You can always bend it in, okay? There's always options for you guys. Good. Keep going in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Now, take a little breather. As I explain the next 2 exercises we're gonna move through, grab a drink of water at any time here too, okay? Grab a drink of water. All right, next movement is our bear hold to arm 3-second hold on the side, okay? So this is what it's gonna look like. You're gonna push up your knees off of the mat, a couple inches, okay? We're just gonna extend your arm for 3 seconds, 3-second hold on each side, okay? Remember, modify back. You can keep your knees down on the ground, no need to lift them or hover, or just eliminate that arm extension. So just holding this movement, lifting your knees up off the mat. Ready? Let's go. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, hold. Switching arms, alternating sides. Okay, 1, 2, 3, switch. 1, 2, 3, switch. Okay, so we're trying to keep that, the goal, try to keep your body nice and still. And the arm is supposed to be the only one moving. Okay, I know that's challenging, right? So that means we're firing up in our glutes, in our inner thighs, in our core. And 1, good. All right, shake it out. Next movement we've got up is our side V-ups, okay? So, working those obliques, working those side muscles here. We're extending out our legs roughly into a pike position, a small pike position. So we're not completely straight here, okay? That's gonna give us the ability to squeeze it in for a side V-up, okay? Ready? Let's go. So we're gonna squeeze in the side, touching our feet to our hands at the top, okay? You can always come down, drop down into that forearm if it's a little too much weight on that wrist. You can always squeeze in for modification. Those knees, right? Bending those knees. Good. Reaching up and down. Keep that chest nice and still. Shoulders drawn down. And last one here. Okay, we're gonna switch sides. Just wiggling those legs to the other side. Okay, up on that palm or down on that forearm. Let's go. I don't know if you guys can hear the rain in the background, but it's raining. Rain always inspires me. I know it sometimes people want to just cuddle and be cozy. It always inspires me to get a good workout in. Good. In 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. All right, one more time through. So we're doing those bear holds. All right, shake it out. Gather yourself, collect yourself. Check on that form for pushing up those knees off the ground, and let's hit it. Extend that arm, right and left. Engaging in that core, in those glutes, in those inner thighs. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Good. Keep going. Got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome, guys. All right, side V-ups, last set of these, right? Extending your legs out, ready, and go. So I'm gonna push, go down, drop down into my forearm this time. So my wrist is feeling that weight, okay? So always evaluate, right, where your body's telling you, and no problem to modify back anything at any point, okay? So proud of you for just turning this on, making it through to this point. We've got one more round after this. Almost there. 2 more. And let's switch sides. Okay. All right, extending out and go. Remember, you can always bend those knees in at any time. Okay, so your arms and your legs should be simultaneously crunching in to the middle or piking up, okay? Folding in at the same time, all right? Good. Breathing, come on, use that breath. And 3, 2, and 1. Okay, got one more round, guys. One more round. This is a good one too. Save the best for last. Okay, so we're gonna do our plank to push up on both arms to down dog, okay? Not easy, but I will show you some modifications here. Okay, so push up into that plank position. We're gonna push up to both arms, okay? So from your forearms, you're gonna engage in your core and push up on those arms. Then you're gonna push back into that down dog, reset into that plank, coming down onto those forearms. Let's go. Push up, push back. Down on those forearms, push up, push back. Okay, modification, drop down up to those knees. You can always push up to one arm at a time, back to child's pose, okay? So push up one arm at a time, back to child's pose, and back, okay? Push up, down dog, coming into a nice tight plank. Push up, down dog. Good, we're really firing up that upper body here, right? Pushing up on both palms at a time. Squeezing that core, engaging in that core to help lift our body up as one unit. Good. In 3, 2, give me one more. Nice job. Okay, shake out those arms. All right, we've got our last movement here, guys. Almost there. Okay, so our plank exercise, a lot of people forget, it's also a dismount, right? It's our dismount. So we gotta really warm up our knees, our ankles, our landing areas, right? Make sure that's all warmed up. So we're gonna be rolling back, standing up, okay? So rolling back, dropping down, that drop roll, standing up. All right, ready, set, let's get this last movement here. Roll back and up. Really use that momentum to help stand up. You can always, modification, just come as far as you can, right? You can always go into that low squat here, okay? You can also borrow a friend to help pull you up, grab their arms to stand up, okay? Then your body can get used to that motion and what muscles they need to engage to stand all the way up. In 3, 2, last one. All right, last and final round, guys. We are almost there, coming down into that plank position. Shake it out, get a last drink of water before we finish off here. Let's go. Plank, push up, down dog. Come on. Maybe speed up the tempo here. Last and final round here. Tighten that core. Make sure that bottom is down in that plank, okay? It's gonna wanna push up because it knows, your body knows that's the direction it's going next. But try to keep that bottom down in that plank. Good. In 3, 2, and 1. Nice. All right. Last one, guys, last rolls. We got this. Ready, set. Let's hit it. Wall to stand. Really push through my heels. Make sure those knees are right over those toes and our hip width distance are apart. Our feet are hip width distance apart, okay? Standing up, driving those hips to stand. We've got 5 more seconds, guys. Come on, try to get another rep in. 3, 2, 1. All right, we are done with the workout portion. Get a drink of water, as always. Stay hydrated. And I'm gonna pass it on to Allie to finish us off with some yoga.
Awesome, Mari. Thanks, everyone. So hopefully you're feeling nice and warm. We're gonna do a little bit more work in the yoga portion and then do a nice cool down. So come to standing with about hips distance here on your mat. We're just gonna take the arms wide, stretch and reach. See if you can reach the arms straight up overhead, and then bring the palms down to heart center. Close your eyes. And we're just gonna get really focused here, feeling a straight line, first of all, from the tailbone up through the spine, picturing it to come out through the crown of the head. And then also shooting down the legs. See if you can picture that vertical line. And now, keeping your eyes closed, go ahead and reach the arms up overhead. And I want you all to picture as though you were holding a set of handles and you're in a handstand. And really visualizing that handstand position. And I find that for this exercise, for the flank, both halves of that exercise, it really is helpful and imperative to be able to have that opening through the shoulders. And so with your eyes closed, notice if as you lifted your arms up over your head, if your rib cage, especially your lower ribs, started to pop out. And I want us to get really mindful of sealing in. So think of lowering the rib cage, lowering that lower section of the rib cage, almost tucking that center line, lower ribs to hips, and see if that also causes you to fold in the shoulders. So if you can see the side view, for a lot of us, we open up through our back here, exaggerating to get that line, but really we need to have that strength in the core as well as the opening in the shoulders. So just get a check, see where you are in this very simple exercise here, and see if you can just take 2 more breaths of really feeling that strength in the core and opening in the shoulders. Feel the strength along the back that it takes. Maybe there's a pinching. You want to just breathe into that. Again, we're not going for pain. We're just noticing where our range of motion is. All right, and then go ahead and just take a forward fold. And now same thing here. As you fold, let's take a halfway lift. Inhale, and I want you to feel where it is that your pelvis would naturally allow you to have that flat back, okay? And so for a lot of us, we're sort of lifting halfway up and we feel it really opening in the backs of the legs already. Some of us can come a little bit deeper and still have a flat back. So if you feel this in your back at all, you want to come up a little bit higher, and so that the opening is really happening from your hamstrings and that fold, okay? And so you're not just rounding in the back here, you're really lengthening, and if you picture that spine coming straight out from where the tailbone is, and then you're lifting and the stretch happens in the top of the hamstrings. Hopefully you can notice the difference there, okay? So again, you can fold here, that's releasing the back. And then when we take our halfway lift, you're thinking of lengthening in the hamstrings, almost like you're scooping and tilting in the pelvis to find that length in the back of the legs, and then the back just extends straight, okay? So the fingertips can touch the mat or they can come to the shins. And again, as you lift and lengthen in the hamstrings, that's where you're gonna find the proper position in your halfway lift, okay? 2 more times. So we exhale to fold, and then think about lifting the upper sitting bones, lengthen in the hamstrings. Inhale, that's your half lift position, and you're not lifting higher than the pelvis, flat back from the tailbone. Exhale, fold. Good, 1 more time. Inhaling and exhale. Good, and then let's go ahead and take a similar position on the floor. You can give those legs a nice stretch out here. So it might be helpful to think of this position on the ground. You can kind of walk the muscles away from the bones so you really feel your sitting bones down into the earth. And then from here, find a flat back. You can put your hands on your lower back and then begin to sort of tilt the sitting bones behind you and see how far you can go while still keeping your back flat, okay? And this takes a lot of opening and lengthening in the hamstrings, in that area all through the back of the legs. And then in order to hold this position, as we will be eventually doing in a handstand, it's going to require a lot of core strength as well to be able to pull your legs closer in. And the thing about this sort of contrast between strength and flexibility, your mobility range is really going to be determined. Think of a rubber band that's really tight. It requires a lot more strength, right? So if you can really open up through the back of the legs, it will require a little bit less effort in order to get that beautiful pike. All right, so from here, we're just going to take 2 more breaths. Think halfway lift. Inhale, nice flat back, and then exhale. You can fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Remember, the neck is included in that flat line. Exhale to fold. All right, go ahead and shake that out. So remember, we're really working on mobility, not just strength, not just flexibility, really finding that balance. Okay, so from here, coming into a downward facing dog. And now visualizing that same shape from your downward facing dog, similarly to what we did in our workout, in our warm-up. You're going to take down dog and just jump so that the hips stack over the hands and then land softly. That's level 1, okay? So you're just taking a little bend and then jump, landing softly, okay? You're going to do that 10 times. If you want to take level 2, then you're going to come into that jump, to a handstand, and then landing softly, all right? So we've got about 7 more, finding that at your own pace, either jumping and then landing softly in down dog, or if you want to play, then you can take a little hop, handstand, and then coming back down. And see if you can really find that L shape and then a soft landing. And if you want to find the handstand, really take that L shape first as well, before and after. Good, so trying to find about 10 of whatever level you're working with here. Find that focus. Use your breath. Getting those reps in, finding about 10 or so, and then after your final one, take a break in downward facing dog. Good, let's bring our knees down to the mat for child's pose. Roll the forehead out side to side. Let the hips relax. Let the shoulders soften. Excellent work, everyone. All right, building on both those exercises, we're going to go ahead and take our downward facing dog once again. And this time we're going to try to tap the wrists with our toes. So it's either going to look like a jump forward, just coming forward, and then from there, see if you can take a jump up, tap, and down. Good? And then from there, jump back. Okay? So level 1, downward facing dog, jump forward. Once you're there, try to tap, jump up, and then you can take it and jump back. Downward facing dog. Level 2, see if you can go downward facing dog, try to tap the wrists, and then land. And then you're going to tap the wrist and jump back. And you can also land in a plank. might be a little bit easier, and then shift it back. All right, we've got 10. Find your breath and play around. Trying to find that wrist tap or just jumping forward. Really pulling in. Use that core to pull the toes towards your own wrists. So strong. You guys got it. Let's do at least 2 more. Jumping forward, tap, tap, and jump back. Awesome. Last one. Woo! And remember, you gotta get kind of playful sometimes as you learn and grow. All right, child's pose. Excellent work. If you want to roll out those wrists or just let them rest behind you. Rock it out side to side. Softly, softly. All right. Really breathing here. All right, slowly coming all the way up, and we're gonna come with that left leg forward into a half split, flexing in that front foot. And as Mari mentioned, the flank is a dismount exercise, and so for a lot of us, we have really strong legs and really tight outer hips, especially IT band area. And when we're coming in with these really high landings, it's so important that we don't have, if you can picture again, that sort of tightness of the rubber band pulling the knee outward. That's how a lot of injuries are. That's how a lot of injuries occur if you've got too much tension there, especially in the outer hip. So we're gonna go ahead and fold into that outer IT band. Flex the left foot and roll the left pinky toe to the left. Keep your right hand on the mat and add a twist. This should be really good. You should really feel it in that outer hip. You can kind of open and close in that hip, really tucking the hip down, rolling the foot out, and adding that twist really targets that outer line here. Find 2 more breaths. So good for preventing injuries. And then we're going to take it into a pigeon stretch. Flex that front foot. Now, I really want to see that front foot flexed. That shin can come in closer towards you if you want, or if you want a little bit more of an intense stretch, we're working towards having that foot parallel. And everyone straighten first of all in the back leg. Now, you want your heel facing up, and as a good test of your hips being square, go ahead and bend that leg up. Now, if my hips aren't square, my foot's gonna come up straight to the side, right? You can see that. But if I roll my hips square, that leg is coming straight up perpendicular to the ground. That's what we want in our pigeon. And then go ahead and come on down and count 5 breaths. Again, this is really good. Everyone should be doing these for dismounts so that you can really protect your knees and stay injury free. All right, 2 more breaths, 2 or 3 more breaths here. Really breathing into your belly. And if you haven't yet, make sure that you go back and watch our standing video. There's a lot of great balancing exercises, great workout there from Mari, and then we do together some breathing exercises that are going to help with your mindset. They're going to help with whatever discipline you do, and really just with life. All right, everyone, go ahead and slowly come out of it. Plant the hands and just step it back. Take a few winding steps in your down dog. And then we'll take the left knee down, right leg out for that half split stretch. First of all, just flexing at the foot, opening up through the back of the leg, right? So we did some work through the hamstrings today. So good to have that balance of strength and mobility, flexibility, right? We don't want to be too loose. We don't want to be too tight. We want to be just right. Left hand stays down on a book or a prop or the floor. Right foot is flexed, and then roll it down. And then from there, if you want more, you add on, turning and rolling out to the right. good. And I want to know if you guys feel this. When I do this one, it's like very intense, very direct stretch. Really targeting that outer right hip. Really breathe into it. You don't want to force anything that can also cause injury if you're pushing yourself too hard. You want to really be telling your body that it can feel safe here. Whenever you stretch, you need to make sure that that is exactly the messaging that you're sending, because if your nerves are receiving a signal of fear, like they're going to be injured, then of course they're going to tense up and prevent you from going fully into that position, and you'll get tighter. But if you're really just telling your body, hey, we're safe in this new position, that's how flexibility occurs over over time. All right, and then coming into your pigeon stretch. So remember, flex the front foot. That's going to help to protect the ligaments that come across the top of the front knee, making sure that if you want more of a stretch, you can come towards a shin parallel to the front of the mat. If it's too much, bring that foot closer to you. Go ahead and check that your hips are square by bending that back knee. Shin should be parallel to the ground. And then with that front foot flexed, go ahead and take 5 breaths down in your pigeon. And you can keep the toe tucked if you want, or go ahead and release and just relax that back leg. Breathe deep into your belly. Every inhale, feel the belly filling up. Every exhale, softening. One more breath here. Good, go ahead and plant the hands, tuck the back foot, come back into your downward facing dog and find some breaths. Great, and now you may have noticed that we started this class working on that line from the hands through the shoulders and the hips. That is exactly what we've been doing with all of the downward facing dogs through class. So you can now really try to find that line through the shoulders. And for those of you that may be hypermobile, you don't want to come too far open with the shoulders. But if you're kind of finding that length, you really want one long line from wrists through shoulders, triceps wrapping around to hug in strong on the upper arms, and then press it up and long and back. So if you can just take 3 more breaths here in your downward facing dog, you can see how that's really going to help your handstand. You're doing that same thing of tucking the ribs in and opening up through the shoulders. This time we have the floor to support us with that opening. So good for our handstand work here. Great, and then from downward facing dog, we'll just come to seated position. Go ahead and roll the shoulders up and back and around. Inhale to lift and exhale. We're going to take the arms up, inhaling, twist to the right to finish here. Exhale. So good to unwind with twists. Inhale, center. Twist to the left. Exhale. Full breath. Good. Bring your hands to heart center. You can close your eyes. Give yourself a moment of gratitude. Thanking your body for all that it allows you to do. Thank you all for showing up for the flank workout and yoga. Make sure to check out the entire series of compulsory videos and let us know what it is that you guys want to see more of and what it is that you're enjoying. Thanks again, everyone, and we'll see you soon for the next video.